Hi everyone, welcome back to Shrimp Mania. I'm super excited today. Any minute now I should get my parcel. And in this parcel I should have a very rare and very beautiful Caridina shrimp. I ordered that shrimp on eBay from very professional breeder, and I got lots of beautiful shrimps from him in the past. And this shrimp's going to go in my 40 centimeter cube tank. And here you go, this is the tank. This tank is approximately 60 liter volume. And I recently changed the soil inside underground filter box, and I also added some more extra soil at the bottom of the tank. As you can see, I only have a thin layer of soil just to avoid some buildups inside the soil. This used to be my mixed Caridina tank, and a few days ago I moved all my shrimps inside the neighbor tank over here. They're all here now. And I also made a massive water change. I changed about 90% of water just to refresh the water and withdraw all the buildups inside the water which accumulated in the tank during that year. So this setup is very minimalistic with minimal details. I just prefer to see my shrimps. You know, when you don't have much stuff, you can see your shrimps much better. So I don't like very planted tanks. So instead I just using moss and slow growing plants like anubis plants. So here I have some Pheasant's moss on coconut shell and just a flame moss. So recently I trimmed this moss, and hopefully in a few weeks it's gonna grow like this one. So now I want to quickly talk about high-end Caridina shrimp. It's not your typical shrimp and it cannot survive in any water parameters. It's very sensitive shrimp and it's required a specific water parameters. These shrimps, they won't survive in your tap water. They actually need reverse osmosis water, and to get these water parameters right, you need to add some minerals back to our raw water. This is stuff I'm using. It's called Beef Shrimp Mineral GH+, and on every 30 liters of water I'm adding roughly about 1 scoop, which provided with the salts, and that brings your TDS to approximately 110 parts per million. So basically this stuff is remineralize your water to the perfect water parameters for Caridina shrimps. It raises GH but keep KH at 0. So this is what basically we need. What is also important for high-end Caridina shrimp is water pH, and if you want to keep these shrimps with high success, make sure your water pH is below 6. And the best way to keep your pH this low is to use the good quality active soil. And the most common and famous active soil is ADA Amazonia, and a lot of shrimp keepers and breeders using this soil with a very high success. And if you look inside my shrimp tanks, they are all made with underground filtration method, and I'm very big fan of this method because this method works very good to lower pH in your shrimp tank. And how this method works is that you have soil inside your box and the water constantly running through that soil, so that makes it work much harder to lowering your pH and buffering your water. So this method works great to keep your high-end Caridina shrimps with great success. It's also very important to have a well-established tank full of dust algae and biofilm, because that's a good natural food source for them, and this is main diet of the Caridina shrimps. And the baby shrimps, they rely on the algae and biofilm because once they hatch, they don't move too much. They cannot eat the food you feed to your shrimps. And if you don't have a lot of algae and biofilm, they're most likely to die. Right, here we go. We just got this box from Postman. And this is quite a large box. I didn't expect this box to be so large for little shrimps. So now let's open it up and let's see what we've got inside. I have some moss here, double bag. You guys ready for this? Wow. Take a look at these shrimps, guys. You might not be able to see much inside this bag, but there should be 15 of yellow fishbone galaxy shrimps. And they are really special shrimps. So let's get them out of the bag and start drip acclimating them so we can properly look at them. Yeah, make sure there's no shrimps inside the bag. Yeah, there's no shrimps here. So let's remove the duckweed first, because I don't want this duckweed to end up in my tanks. And then we're going to properly look at the shrimps, yeah. Here you go, guys. Let's properly take a look at the shrimps. Let's count them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we have 18 shrimps here. So seller was quite nice to me, and he gave me 4 extra shrimps, which is very good. I'm very happy with this. So let's properly look at the shrimps and then start drip acclimating them. And they are gorgeous shrimp. Take a look at them. They look fantastic, guys. Very pleased with the shrimps. So now let's check the water parameters of this water, just to get an idea how close the water parameters of this water to my water in the tank before we start acclimating our shrimps. So first I'm going to check pH. So according to my pH pen, the pH of this water is 6.3, but I know this pH pen haven't been calibrated, and the pH it shows slightly higher than real pH. So I would say the pH of the water is probably about 6.1, 6.0, and pH of the water in my tank is 5.8, which is perfectly fine. So my pH is 5.8 according to this pen, but I'm sure it's not 5.8, it's probably 5.5, more close to that. It's showing me now is 5.7 even. Let me show you. So 5.7 is good pH. So it's probably 5.5 in my tank, it's probably 6.1 in this water, which is not too bad, which is quite close. Let's see the TDS, and here we have 126, and in my tank we have 115, 14, so it's very close. Okay, now I drip acclimating my shrimp, and I'm sure many of you already know what drip acclimating means. Just in case somebody new watching my video and who doesn't know what means drip acclimating, so it's basically acclimating your shrimp very slowly to your water parameters in your tank. Your shrimp's coming from different water parameters, so you need slowly drip acclimating them to your new water parameters. And what I do normally is I just run airline from my tank, and they attach a little valve, and I reduce the water pressure to about 1 to 2 drops per second, and then I can do it very slowly. I would say it would roughly take about 2 to 3 hours. So now we have these lovely shrimps in the tank. They look a little bit pale now because they've been stressed due to shipping. So tomorrow we're gonna properly look at them, and I hope by tomorrow they're gonna bring up the true color and they're not gonna be so stressed. So now they're enjoying this biofilm and algae, which is plenty in this tank. They look happy, yeah? So I'm gonna come back here tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to feed them, and hopefully they're gonna come and eat the food. So we're gonna properly look at them once they settle in this tank, and hopefully they'll bring the color back. And here you go, guys, this is next day, and shrimp's doing fantastic. The most of them are in the front, so they're still grazing and looking for food. They're doing very well. This is my cat, he just wants something, I don't know what he wants. And my next tank is lots of activity here. The shrimps are now breeding, and there are lots of males just roaming around looking for female to breed, yeah, so very good sign, yeah, very happy about this. So I think we can just try to feed the shrimps and see if they can come and eat that food, and properly look at them. So guys, I'm going to tell you one tip. Yes, so how can you see if a shrimp's doing well? You can see the shrimps is constantly looking for food and feeding on something, like on your soil, on your biofilm. You see, like the shrimps, they try to eat that kind of thing from the soil, which probably a biofilm or algae. So that means your shrimps are happy, so they're doing fantastic, they're doing great. But if you see your shrimp hiding somewhere in the corner of your tank and do nothing and don't move, you know, that's maybe a warning sign. Maybe the shrimp is not well, maybe stress. So now we can try to give them some food and see how they're gonna react. And here you go, guys. It's just 15 minutes later. I just give them some food, and you can see it's like 3 shrimps already eating from that food, and there's a few shrimps roaming around. These shrimps just came here, tried food and ran away. This one has tried food and run away as well. That means we have a lot of natural food in this tank, so the shrimps are not very hungry. Today they look much better because they settle in the tank. They're not so pale as before. As you can see, they look very bright, and yeah, I'm super happy with the shrimps, and I hope in the near future they can breed a lot and they give me a lot of shrimplets, a lot of baby shrimps, so I can have a big colony of the shrimps. Okay guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to smash that like button. I would really appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.